8 acts that can unintentionally ruin relationships or marriage. As there are daily routines that help to establish a solid romantic relationship, there are also actions that damage partnerships. Do your best to prevent these typical relationship blunders that can endanger even the strongest of connections by taking note of them. Yes, these unhealthy habits can destroy a marriage or connection that would otherwise be successful. A good marriage or relationship is not necessarily the result of an effort or commitment. You could definitely use this relationship advice if you are having a hard time keeping things in perspective and in harmony. You and your spouse may forge a connection that endures the test of time by avoiding these relationship-killing behaviors and putting an emphasis on trust, openness, and sincerity instead. 1. Nagging. Nagging is one of the most common and yet one of the most destructive acts that can ruin a relationship. Nagging is essentially the repeated attempt to get someone to do something, often by criticizing or lecturing them in a negative way. It's easy to see how nagging can become a major problem in a relationship, as it can make your partner feel disrespected and unappreciated. This can ultimately lead to a breakdown in communication and trust, making it difficult for a relationship to survive. 2. Neglect. Neglect is one of the most common acts that can unintentionally ruin relationships. Neglect is defined as the failure to provide adequate care, attention, or support. In relationships, neglect can refer to a lack of emotional and physical attention. When one partner in a relationship feels neglected, it can cause feelings of anger, resentment, and insecurity. This can lead to mistrust and a breakdown in communication, causing the relationship to suffer. In marriages, neglect can come in many forms. Emotional neglect occurs when one partner fails to listen or pay attention to the others. Physical neglect happens when one partner fails to show affection or touch. Financial neglect can occur when one partner does not contribute financially or is reluctant to provide financial assistance to the family. It's important for partners to make sure that they both are getting their needs met in the relationship and to take time to give each other attention. 3. Unfaithfulness. Unfaithfulness is one of the most damaging acts that can occur in a relationship or a marriage. It can come in many forms, from physical affairs to emotional ones. Unfaithfulness tears apart trust and erodes the bond between two people. Even if it is unintentional, the damage that comes from being unfaithful can be irreversible. When it comes to infidelity, there is no excuse or justification for it. Having an affair or cheating on your partner shows a lack of respect and dedication to your relationship, and it sends the message that you don't value your partner or the commitment you have made. To maintain a healthy and successful relationship or a marriage, fidelity should always be the foundation on which it is built. The aftermath of unfaithfulness can be difficult to cope with and can lead to feelings of betrayal and insecurity if you have been. 4. Arguing. Arguing can be a healthy part of any relationship as it allows couples to communicate their needs and resolve the differences. However, frequent or intense arguments can erode trust, respect, and connection in a relationship. Excessive arguing is one of the most damaging acts that can ruin a relationship, leading to feelings of insecurities, resentment, and isolation. There are a few things to keep in mind when it comes to avoiding arguments that will damage your relationship. 1. Stay focused on the issue at hand. If you find yourself bringing up past issues or other unrelated topics, take a step back and refocus on the main point. 2. Respect each other's opinion. Don't belittle or criticize each other's points of view, even if you don't agree with them. 3. Listen and show empathy. Take the time to truly listen to what other person is saying and try to put yourself in their shoes. 5. Putting yourself first. Putting yourself first is an important part of any relationship. While it's important to show love and support for your partner, it's equally important to take care of yourself first. When you start taking care of your own needs and put yourself before your partner, resentment can quickly build and cause tension in the relationship. It's important to set aside time for yourself and make sure you're focusing on your own needs. This could be as simple as getting a massage or going for a walk alone. It's important to make sure that you are not using your partner as an emotional crutch. If you're feeling lonely or struggling emotionally, try talking to a friend or a therapist instead of burdening your partner. In addition, it's important to set boundaries in a relationship and respect each other's independence. If one partner is trying to control the other or expects the other to drop everything whenever they want, this can lead to tensions in the relationship. Allowing each other space to have their own interests is essential for any healthy relationship. Finally, if you want to find yourself constantly trying to fix your partners or change them in a way, this can create issues in the relationship. Everyone deserves respect, and while it's important to support each other, it's not okay to try and change who your partner is or how they live their life. It's important to remember that putting yourself first isn't selfish. It's necessary for a healthy relationship. Make sure that you are taking care of yourself and respecting each other's independence to ensure a happy, healthy relationship. 6. Jealousy. Jealousy is one of the most common acts that can unintentionally ruin relationships. Jealousy can manifest in a variety of different ways, and it can range from mild insecurity to extreme possessiveness. If unchecked, it can cause serious problems in a relationship. When one partner becomes jealous, it can create an environment of distrust and suspicion, making it difficult for the couple to communicate openly and honestly. It can also lead to feelings of resentment, as well as guilt and shame. All of these emotions can make it hard to maintain a healthy relationship. It's important to remember that jealousy is a natural emotion, and one that should be acknowledged and worked through together in a constructive way. If jealousy is starting to become an issue in your relationship, it's important to talk about it openly and honestly. By talking openly and trying to understand the root cause of jealousy, couples can work together to address any underlying issues and come to a resolution that works for both parties. 7. Trust or checking up on your partner. In a relationship, trust is one of the most important components. However, if that trust is broken, it can cause irreparable damage. This can happen unintentionally if you start checking up on your partner. It's important to respect each other's privacy and not to keep track of each other's whereabouts or activities. Constantly questioning your partner or trying to control them can lead to feelings of insecurity and mistrust. If you have concerns about something your partner is doing, it's best to communicate those worries openly and calmly instead of snooping around behind their back. Give your partner the space to do things without worrying about being watched or judged. Remember, trust is an essential part of any relationship, and checking up on your partner undermines that trust. 8. Not being present. Being present in a relationship is one of the most important aspects of maintaining a healthy bond. Whether it's physical presence or mental presence, it's essential to be present when interacting with your partner. Unfortunately, this is something that can easily be overlooked and can have a huge impact on your relationship. Physical presence is fairly easy to measure, and is usually the first thing that comes to mind when discussing presence in a relationship. This means that you should be physically there when your partner needs you, whether it's being present for a date night, listening attentively during conversations, or just being by their side in general. Mental presence is harder to measure, but it is just as important. This means being fully engaged in conversations and understanding what your partner is saying without getting distracted by others' thoughts. It also means being emotionally available and understanding their feelings without judgment. When one or both parties fail to present in a relationship, it can lead to feelings of disconnection and resentment. This can cause a lot of damage and eventually lead to breakdown of the relationship. To avoid this, it's important to always stay focused and engaged with your partner no matter how busy life gets. Give this video a thumbs up if you liked it and tell your friends about it so that we can make more like it. Click the subscribe button to see more content like this, and don't forget to activate the notification bell. Check out our other videos as well if you haven't already. Thank you for viewing.